All right, say hello to the people watching the VODs on YouTube. Hi.
Hi, Bot Squad.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. Hello.
You're my friend
Hello.
now. We're having
Hello.
stuff with us later.
All right, let's see. How about Greenie? You play that music and somebody. Oh, you okay? Listen, I didn't have to do anything.
Oh.
Animal 20, oopsie.
Well, that is lucky because Ambrose. What happened last
Thank
time?
goodness.
First I'd like to apologize to Villa.
All of this stuff happened. I'm so sorry.
Hey, you know, that's a-okay.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, I'm glad things happened, if anything.
I know, but it's supposed to happen with the lizard dad as well.
Oh, I'm dying.
Oh,
We
he's
missed
dying.
him.
All right, tell us.
I swallowed a potato, I'm sorry.
Like a full, like a whole potato?
I was about to say, like, snake meal.
Dude, what are you doing?
Just let a guy swallow a potato. Like, come on.
I
I
mean,
was
how
trying to
else
mimic
are you
something else.
supposed to eat them?
I wanted to mimic something else, so.
Oh my lord.
Hmm.
Of course you're gonna choke on a
Potato.
potato. It's the size of a potato.
You're not helping me.
Don't make him laugh, dude. He's gonna die.
Potato pissy.
Perish.
If he dies, he dies.
My notes for last session is probably like the worst notes I've ever taken, but we're going to ignore that factor.
It's still gonna be the best, like, recitement compared to any of mine.
Okay, yeah, you say that, but you have like 2 pages worth of notes.
No.
Because I have 3.
I am smiling and not for any particular reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not lying.
Let's get these notes rolling.
So, last session we started off with a brief conversation about the new and old sword that Ambrose has received, as while it is technically the same sword he's been using, it has also been completely reshapen. And that does bring a certain amount of concern to Ambrose, as he, upon the asking by Taurin, talked a little bit about how much his sword meant to him, and seeing it in such a changed form feels a bit strange, but he still feels the same emotion that comes when he looks at it, as if it were still the old sword he'd always carried. And before we made our way back to Galvathir, Ambrose also requested that we sit and rest for a moment, considering all that's happened, that even though we did technically get to sit and rest in the eyes of Vithius, realistically speaking, I don't think it's very calming to see a god, even if they have like a natural aura about them that helps, you know, keep you less crazy and injured. So Ambrose requested that we sit for a moment to just recollect ourselves and take a breather. And during this, he attempted to play with the group and explain some of the enjoyment and appreciation he has for everyone, as he states that he's not normally very good at talking, and he knows this, but he wants to admit to everyone that he does actually care, that he is actually benefiting just as much as he is trying to help others around him, that the group of people that he is with, that is, you know, Taurin, Kipper, and Rexmoa, as well as Yoroi when he's here, that he is greatly benefiting from their companionship. Beyond this, the group decides to hike back up to Galvathir, since we had been transported by Vithius a bit outside and into the outskirts of the mountainside. And as the hike up starts, Ambrose speaks up once more, as I realize how much of this session was me just talking. But during this, Ambrose says that there's something that he was actually trying to say when he requested a break, and that was something to do with his past. Something that he has been meaning to say this entire time, but was struggling to find the words. And that is to do with the actual situation regarding his mentor. Whenever Ambrose has previously spoke about him, he only really spoke about how his mentor disappeared one night and he's been searching for him. And the good times that he had with his mentor, about how his mentor was always such a benevolent individual who was always helping everyone around them, including Ambrose. And that it is largely thanks to his mentor that Ambrose is even here in this current state. Not to mention, of course, the fact that he carries a sword everywhere. But with Vithius's words kind of bouncing around inside his head, he struggles that he kind of has to say what's been on his mind this entire time now. And that is the real reason why he's been searching for his mentor. Ambrose explained that when his mentor left, it wasn't just for no reason. It wasn't just to go somewhere to escape. Originally, Ambrose made it seem like it was just simply something that happened. But in reality, it's something that his mentor had been planning for a long time. Prior to Ambrose and his mentor Varen meeting, Varen had a circumstance where he was cursed. And this curse that his mentor had was one that slowly took away and peeled his flesh, even taking away his mind and causing him to become more and more insane, more willing to inflict injuries on others. The most proper way to explain it is that Ambrose's mentor was quite literally deteriorating, both on the outside and the inside, and his mentor was terrified that one day he would accidentally injure Ambrose, so he left. Ambrose's main reason of telling the party this was having to do with one of the things that he asked Vithius. He asked Vithius that if there was anything he could do for his mentor besides ending it all. And Vithius said that Ambrose already knew the answer. And Ambrose said to the party that the answer was quite literally ending the misery of his mentor. Since Vithius himself confirmed there's nothing to do, that is his only choice. But he told the party that he's not strong enough to do that. He's going to need everyone to actually help him, if that time comes. Because he knows that he's not strong enough to wield his sword against the very person who raised him. After that very difficult conversation, the group reached Galbathir, which was a much brighter note, though upon entering Galbathir, there was a slight issue in that being that since we hadn't actually brought the Dwarven miners to anyone, the guards were a little bit standoffish with us, understandably so. So we attempted to get one of the guards to tell us where the warden is so we can explain what had happened the past day. And the guard gave us a general idea where the warden is, so we headed out to that location. But instead of the warden, we found Theodric. And Theodric's immediate concern ended up with the fact that Ambrose is carrying a new sword. Well, not specifically the sword, but rather the shard that is on the sword. The Shard of Vithius. And the party briefly said that such conversation probably should not happen in public where everyone was. But in the meantime, Taurin happened to notice the warden walking around, which we went to speak with, and after a bit of inability to properly convey what happened in public, the warden forced us to go back to the mines, but he came in tow. And when we got back to the entrance of the mines, we explained what had actually happened. Some of the information regarding what was going on with Vithius And then, due to some of Kipper's powers and magic, we realized that the miners were actually very close. They had indeed survived the same amount that we left. Thanks to Vithius, they were brought back up, and after we moved it was what, a boulder that was basically blocking the entrance, yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty much that. It's like a cover for the already, you know, I guess bad mine shafts.
It was basically to stop anyone from going in there because it would be dangerous.
Correct.
But we managed to move it out of the way with the help of the guards and whatnot. And the miners are in the same states that we left them in. They're doing okay. You know, one of them is unfortunately injured, but the miners that we found are indeed alive, including the one that unfortunately died before we found them. And that is just about where we left off.
Oh, can we have a little summary of what we... That's actually an interesting question that I just read in the chat. Who would like to do that, actually? Not Ambrose, you already talked. Who wants to give... Let's do that, because I agree, you are new Noir, so... How about we give him a small summary of what is going on?
Also do the character intros again, since...
That is true, also that. So how about we start with the introductions first for the new people. Let's go with our friend Quartz or Taurin over here. Would you like to introduce yourself and everything?
Yeah, I'm Quartz Garden. I do art on the side, and I play Taurin, who's a tabaxi snow leopard, a merchant, druid, basically.
Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Any social medias that you wanna plug?
You can check me out on YouTube, Blue Sky, and TikTok.
Awesome, awesome. It's same username, Quartz Garden?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. What about our friend, our pink and blue friend? Ocean? Teal?
Yeah, I usually say pink and blue just to simplify it. I usually say like the cotton candy colors.
Yeah, the cotton candy colors. What about you, my friend?
Yeah, hi, I'm Velosaurus Rex, variety streamer, dino tuber, and I'm playing Rexmoa, affectionately known as Lizard Dad. In the campaign, I am a monk whose subclass is Way of the Four Elements, and I'm a little on the older side, and I'm just venturing with these youngsters, trying to, help them stay off the crooked path, and also maybe save the world along the way. I'm 5 days from retirement, I'll say. Yeah, you can find me on Twitch as well. I'm getting back into regularly streaming, and other than that, I'm mostly on Blue Sky.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Bunnyman, the beep.
Hello, I am Bip Bip. If you want any of my socials, guys, you can just click the @ in the title of ZJ's thing. It's like right below. But I play indie horror games. I'm a gremlin man, but in the campaign, my name is Kipper, and I'm a Harengon cleric from the town of Misspell, which is a town in the middle of a lake, which is pretty rad. Where this whole journey started, in fact. Yeah. Kipper is small.
Cool.
You're a long way from home.
I'm a long way from home. That's okay, because I got my lizard dad with me.
If only he had the One Ring, too.
The One Ring to rule them all. The Ring of Power. But anyways, last but definitely not least, Ambrose.
Yes, I'm in fact the tallest. So I'm the most. So, I am the Son of Ninja. I am playing Ambrose, who is an Earth Genasi fighter, specifically the Battle Master subclass. And, on top of that, I have very recently multi-classed into Paladin, becoming the chosen of Vithius, the Goddess of Life.
Good.
The thing Desano Ninja, yeah, that's me. I play games on Twitch and YouTube. I make guides, and I also sometimes do like all ending things and whatnot. And I have redeems on my channel that make me say weird things.
That is
So,
a lie.
yeah.
He says those on his own.
I do
Out of,
massive
out
as
of
well.
his
Wrong
own,
religion.
out of his own free will, he says those things. Do not
I have
believe
not.
those lies.
I have not said a single one of those things willingly.
You know, you
I'm
always have
definitely
the
not
option
on
of
this
not
channel.
saying it, but you just choose to say it.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny. I literally have a thing that says limitations apply. But I have that written there specifically for racism and like shit like that.
Mm.
Not
Yeah, racism's bad.
Racism,
yeah,
is
racism
pretty
is bad.
bad.
Fuck racism. All my
Indeed.
homies hate racism.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And yeah, where can they find you, my friend?
Twitch, YouTube, Blue Sky. It's all on the Desano Ninja. I guess technically Twitter too, but I don't know how to use that.
Nobody likes Twitter.
Okay.
It's my ex, if you know what I mean.
Hell yeah.
Alright.
No
I mean,
one
from the
loves
sound
you
of it, I
anymore.
think I can share with Noir what our current goal is, if it's still in line with
Yeah,
how
totally,
it was like
totally.
3 weeks ago.
Who wants
So
to do
we-
that? Yeah.
Yeah, so we are in the dwarven kingdom of Galvathier, and the king's was it the king's son has recently
The king's brother.
Correct.
the king's brother
brother.
was recently murdered. We kind of got implicated in the mess and got thrown in jail, and we are doing a favor for the kingdom, which is to find a bunch of miners who got trapped deep below the mountain and bringing them back, or bringing back their whatever remains, in order to earn our rightful freedom. And we are just coming back from that adventure, and it sounds like we have successfully delivered these wayward souls back to their
Yes, which-
kingdom.
You missed the very like ending part of that.
Oh,
They did end up back up top, but they took a little bit longer than us because we got teleported and they had to actually like make their way up.
okay.
But Vithius guided them, so they're all safe, barring the one that was already dead.
You know, you can't get
5 out
them
of
all.
6, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey,
5 out
it's
of
that's
6,
good.
That's like a...
He was the shiny. You can't get the shiny every time.
True, true, true. We also have our lovely friend Greenus Venus over here. She is playing
Not a green bean.
Indeed, she is playing a fairy companion that the group has, and she's also the one providing us with very cool music that you will hear all over the stream. I wish I could give you a short summary of what is going on in the campaign, but we are like already like 30 something sessions in.
I'm
So there's
sorry,
a lot
I do
going
not.
We're saving the world.
I do actually have a summary written out, but it's not updated.
I mean, hey, if you can, that would be cool for the new people.
It's not updated for like a couple of months now, so
That's fine. I mean, as long as it's a
But-
summary.
Or you can get a messy bip summary if you want to hear something dumb.
That will be up to you guys.
go ahead, Bip Bip. You got this, Bip Bip.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in the beginning, there was one guy lady called Crenia, which was a deity being that created everything. And at some point, it split into 4 different beings. One of them was like a sea titan, one was an air titan, one was an earth titan, and one was a fire titan. And they would consistently just kind of fight against each other every millennia. Every couple of millennia, they'd wake up and be like, we're gonna like move around a bit, which is pretty much gonna kill everyone, because a mountain moving kills the people who live on the mountain. Fun fact.
Honestly,
Um,
deserved.
You live on a mountain. Get rock slided. No, that's actually mean. Don't do that. So pretty much, what's happening right now is we all met in Mistbell during a festival, we met this weird wizard who basically said, "Hey, so the 4 Titans are waking up and they're getting ready to move around. We need to reunite all 4 Titans to recreate that deity called Crenia, or the world will end." And we're like, "K bet." So we got, so far, Rexmoa secretly he met the Wind Air Titan, and now he's the champion of that. And Ambrose became the champion of the Earth Turtle Titan, which is pretty calm, pretty nice. We like them. Also, there's a stupid cult of fire that no one likes. The end.
Who also may be responsible for hurting our poor werewolf buddy.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And
Who's
also,
not here right now, but we love him.
The current champion of fire is assumed to be the leader of that cult, and they ride the dragon around.
And he's Kipper's brother, and this sucks. No one likes it.
Yeah, that's like a very quick summary of where we are. No, I mean, that's good.
Yeah, got the spark notes.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, so as you guys finally saw the trapped miners surface and go away with the guards, presumably to get, whatever medical attention they may need, and obviously food, rest, and every other basic needs, you guys are left alone now in the lower levels of the Dwarven City, where after thanking you, the warden did offer for you guys to wait until after the funeral, so you could potentially get a chance to speak with the king about the issues regarding, the cult of fire, and what lives below their city now.
The king will be ecstatic to hear this after his brother's death.
He would be so stinking happy, but I think it still needs to be said.
He's gonna be like so happy. He'll be so happy that there's no chance that he won't get mad at us.
Correct.
It's absolutely 0%.
IRL.
Indeed.
Wait, this is the 33rd session?
33rd session? Jesus, is...
I record every session. My notes are set up in where it's like, here's the session, here's who did the summary for the previous session, and then the notes for the new session. So I know exactly what session we're on.
Good. Look at that. Alrighty, so it is nighttime in the the Dwarven Kingdom. I almost forgot the word kingdom existed. So, what are you guys doing? If I recall correctly, you just went down to talk into a private area with the warden and his small platoon of guards because, well, what you revealed is an information that it would be very dangerous if it was, the word would spread around.
That the warden made very difficult to
Correct.
to talk about.
Correct.
Well, unfortunately, Villa, we did promise Theodric that we'd meet him after we were done speaking with the warden. So you're going to have to suffer him.
That is true.
Play nice. Oh, you know what? We should probably say that in character.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, Rexmoa has been with us the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This time it's the character metagaming.
So?
He was just cursed with no mouth syndrome for the little bit.
So where did we agree to meet this wizard?
I was too busy, not paying attention.
Perfect.
Well, I'm not sure we actually said to go anywhere specific. Hopefully he's still where we last saw him. Otherwise, we could head to his temporary home.
Hmm. Well, okay. So is the funeral's today?
Tomorrow.
The funeral
yeah,
for
it's
the king's.
nighttime.
Oh, it's
Tomorrow,
tomorrow.
we
So we
got-
have today. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's night right now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this will probably end up being the last thing we do. All right.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I'd say we should deliver the good news, but I have a feeling our magical friend is already aware of what we're doing right now. Probably laughing at us right now.
I have a sneaking suspicion that he's probably watching us if he knows where to find us or where we are consistently. It's a little bit of a shady character. I think he means well, but I also think that he needs to work on social cues.
He still wanted to hear the specifics from us about what happened down under.
That is true.
And how forthright were you all planning on being with him? I mostly stare at Ambrose when I pose the question to the party.
I kind of like glance back at the hilt to the sword on my back and say, well, I don't think we have any reason to withhold anything. If not for him, we would have never been on this journey. It is after all. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I have a feeling no matter where we go, he will show up. So, unless he gave a specific place to go, did he give a specific place to go? We could just wander around. I have, boulette teeth to sell.
If I recall correctly, he basically told you, hey, I'll wait for you guys over here. He was in the market area.
Okay, yeah, that's... Yeah, that's,
I'm not sure if
Boulette
it was just me, but that was very robotic.
I think it was
me?
you, because I heard it
I think
pretty
it's
well.
me. Okay.
I apologize.
Oh yeah, my music is also messing up. I think it's on me.
I think it's all that car battery acid I've been huffing.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
because it's because the potato I swallowed. That's why.
Maybe.
Swallow
Okay,
that potato.
I think whatever happened fixed. I think I just had like a small like internet like blip or something. Anyway, yeah, I was checking my notes. I don't think I actually wrote down where Theodore could be waiting for us.
Well, I suppose we could just wander around for a bit and he can find us. I'm sure he's not doing anything important.
Yeah. Generally, I thought he said something market, something or other. I was gonna go there anyway, so it's not really a loss.
I mean, when we saw him, he was just lazing around.
Not a big surprise there.
I feel like we're like a group of mean girls, but specifically against wizards.
She says that, or if we wish, we could try locating him, if it's important to meet him right away.
Well, it would be nice to get some rest sooner than later. I don't know about you all, but we've been through a lot today. Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
Kipper
Villa,
looked.
sorry.
specifically you. Sorry, I forgot to mention. specifically you, my friend, you've been feeling very exhausted, like a lot more than you usually after coming out of the mines.
Oh yeah, you did make mention of that Villa was looking a little bit more tired than everyone else when we got back up top.
Wasn't there because of he got dang nabbit, something that drained his oh, he didn't sleep well last night. I forgot it was that.
That too, but yeah, as I said, you're still feeling, you have a feeling very bad, like tired, you know, groggy kind of going on, you know?
Would
Deep
this be
fatigue.
would this be something that Kipper notices?
That would be up to Villa. If you think Villa would show this fatigue a lot more, or do you think he would kind of keep it cool?
He is
keep in
definitely
mind,
trying to.
Oh, so I was just gonna say, do keep in mind, we've also all been like, for the entire day adventuring and falling in a mine shaft. We're all looking a bit worse for wear in terms
That
of
is
like
true.
generalized appearance. I mean, we're probably
Correct.
covered in like dust still.
Yep.
Yeah. Rexmoa is definitely trying to keep like a stiff upper lip, not have anyone worry about him. He is also he doesn't think too much of it, but he can recognize that it's important that he feels like he needs rest very soon, which might explain his grumpy attitude.
Kind of sounds like you got Lyme's disease.
Would that work?
Oh, you just type /GM,
I put stage
I think. I don't think you need the W if you're trying to talk to ZJ specifically. I think you just put
I see.
/GM and then I think the /whisper is only if you're trying to text someone that's not the GM.
Yes. /whisper is for well, /whisper is for anybody. /GM is for the GM.
So just /W.
GM? No,
Yes.
/GM.
No,
I think
yeah, you have
/GM.
to do /W and then you put the GM, I believe.
Oh yeah, I think so. /W space GM, maybe.
Unrecognized command.
Turn yourself around.
That is
I know
good. That
what
is good.
Lyme's disease feels like.
Well,
I've
I got
it
Discord,
3
so
times.
I win.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do
You
that
can also
too.
do that. That's fine. But yeah, you guys are feeling rough for the night.
Oh, I got it.
Some more than you. Yes, I can see that now. Some more than others. Yes, Taurin, to answer your question, of course. Don't be afraid to ask these things. It's all good. You're fine.
Well, I don't want
Um,
everyone to know. That's why it's a secret.
Okay. So,
Yeah, it's specific. Yeah.
all right. So you guys are going to head up into the upper levels. And Taurin, how would you go about doing what you're telling me to do, but keeping it a secret? Because obviously, I mean, you guys are in a group, and if you're telling me that you're gonna sneak off away a little bit, or like, how are you trying to do this?
I would say, yeah, I'm gonna sneak off. Try and play it off as like, I need to go and get some feminine products.
I
basically.
gotta powder my nose. I gotta wash my tail.
I gotta
have to go-
style my fur.
Mhm.
See.
I
Yeah.
need to get some tampons in this dwarven kingdom.
Jesus.
You don't need to be there for that, you know.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is all good.
They grow up so fast.
I think there's a spell for that.
She was already this old.
Okay, yeah. So, if you're going to sneak off, well, you're just gonna give the excuse, hey, I need to do something, I'll be right back. And you're going to
Exactly.
sneak off. You easily can find the place that you are looking for. I don't know if you want me to mention a little bit more, or do you think it's going to remain a secret, or can I just narrate it?
Yeah, you can narrate it.
Okay. So, Taurin, it wouldn't take you to actually, you know what? No, you're fine. Actually, don't roll anything yet. You wouldn't take you
That's
too
fun.
long to find what would be a courier or a postal office over here. After all, there's all signed and, labeled. So you are a very perceptive person naturally, and you can find these things just snooping around and looking. You are able to get there, and what are you going to do in there? You're going to...
I'm gonna write a letter.
All
You're
right.
gonna write a
And-
letter.
Of course,
I
get it
wonder
post.
who it's to.
postage. Yeah. Curious, who is to?
Yeah, I wonder who would that be. You take your
I don't
time
know.
writing the letter. I am assuming. Well, you're gonna have to tell me a little bit of this letter. But yeah, you basically write the letter. Wrap it up nice, and you're gonna send it away. It is a job that is a little bit annoying for the dwarf, due to the nature of what is being sent and to who. But that's his job, and he must do it. So
Me every day.
Yeah. So your letter will be safely sent after he charges you 5 pieces of silver.
5 silver pieces. The kind dwarven man.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure I got a couple. Oh yeah.
You
I got
probably have
plenty.
like a bunch.
I
but
got-
yeah.
Here's 5. I happily hand him 5.
Yep. Perfect. So make sure to take those down. And while you're taking your time, what is the rest of the people doing while Taurin has quote unquote left for something personal?
I asked Kipper, so like, what kind of food should we get her? It's like chocolate. It's like they tend to like chocolate when it's like that time, right?
Do they have chocolate in a dwarven cave system? What kind of food? How do they do agriculture?
I mean, we're gonna
Is
go to the
everything
market,
mutated?
right? You gotta sell those teeth for chocolate.
I do need to sell teeth, but they don't exchange them for chocolate, I don't think.
Oh,
That's like
Hmm.
only like back alley Mistbell kind of shenanigans.
no, you've never heard the story of the tooth fairy?
So what now?
Taxi allergic to chocolate?
I guess we'll just have to track down a tabaxi at the market. That's all right. She can catch up with us, right? Right.
Mhm.
Also, who has chi?
I do.
Yeah, Ambrose has.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Apparently, the Shard of Vitius reminds Chi of home, so she wanted to be close to it. So I carry Chi now. And now I have a
Interesting.
baseball.
More implications.
But yeah, so as you guys go around the market again, it is night. It's not as crowded as it usually is. You can spot the same places that you've been already, and it's you can tell the atmosphere is still a little gloomy because of the very recent events. So you don't see the marketplace as alive as say, for example, what you saw it in the other cities. But there's still traffic. There's still people going on. And as a matter of fact, let me roll something real quick. Hang on a second. Okay. So, you guys would walk around. Do you have any destination in mind? Or if not, I will say that go ahead.
Dwarvish, food market or mini market. I love it when it's just like, welcome to, like, dwarf market. It is, and you walk in, you grab a cart, you go around, you're like, that's
Are you
too
talking about like
many-
a grocery store-esque place
Yeah,
or like a
grocery
bodega?
store.
Bib, I need to
Looming
make two
grocery
comments.
store.
Uh-huh.
I
I need to
need-
make two comments.
I want
I
to
don't
go
think you need to
in.
specify dwarf. We're in the dwarven city.
Don't care. Okay, so
Yeah.
I wanna go through the aisles and be like, oh my goodness.
Ask them what kind
There's
of like
too
what kind
many
of
types.
dwarven snacks they have.
I didn't know there was
My-
this many kinds of dwarven pasta.
Mm-hmm.
My immediate mental image of like going down the aisles with a cart was just like a very, I don't know why, just like a very old-timey, like almost like stone wheel-esque contraption, except it's completely made out of bronze.
Like the Flintstones.
Yeah, but it's completely made out of bronze, and there's just nothing about it that's actually like that makes it like hyper like modern or anything. It's just a cart made out of complete bronze.
I mean, hey, it could
I
be.
don't know why I got that mental image.
ZJ, I need you to cook up
Okay.
a grocery store, but themed with the items that would only make sense in the Dwarvish Kingdom.
Be a lot of mushrooms.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will say, as you guys are mentioning, like produce is not really big. Like the commerce of produce, it's not really big. Vegetables are very, very rare.
I feel like it would be a lot of meat.
Yes, exactly. You would mostly find like butcher shops, and you do find some vegetables, but more like root vegetables because they are easier to grow in the situation that the dwarves are inside of the mountain.
Addition.
Correct.
I'll just name vegetables in the background. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. And I will say, and you guys know this from when you arrived, alchemy ingredients are also not a big thing in here. Because again,
I remember.
plants.
Wait, what's that?
Alchemy ingredients. Because plants and all of these natural things don't tend to last long in the conditions that they are. So if you're looking for food items that are, you know, meats and stuff that can be easily obtained inside of a mountain, then you are good to go. But stuff from the outside is much more difficult. Plus, you would know from the Dwarven Kingdom, they are a little bit too selective with what they bring, what they trade. That's why you don't see a lot of variety in their, I guess, items.
My pasta dreams.
No pasta for you.
No pasta. Very sad.
But
no
carrots,
I mean,
yes.
it's a possibility because you know it's a good like staple. Like you don't the whole reason they made pasta is because
noodles.
you can dry it out and store it, and
That
it's
is
like
Exactly.
and like
Is
save it for
DJ
later.
shaking him head? Nuh-uh.
A little bit of
Hit-
ratatouille.
Well, let's not
hit
put words in
DJ
DJ's
with
mouth.
his
What?
past
Yeah, I mean,
pasta
the
mouth.
point of this conversation is that we want to go to like a market, right? Or like look
Yeah.
for food.
No, the point is that ZJ's an imposter.
Oh, for
Yeah.
you guys.
I knew it.
Yeah, you
Uh.
heard him. Chat. Kill ZJ.
What? Okay. Well,
And hello, Winter.
Maybe
What, are
don't
you
kill him.
afraid
Kill
of
him.
imposter
How-
joke?
okay, we need to acknowledge Winter's McDwarfins. That's pretty good.
That is
No, that
pretty
was
good.
Orphans?
spectacular. I did notice that one.
Let me check.
I was thinking
Alright,
about rock
well,
candy
let's just frame this in the
too.
context of like we're just kind of like wandering around, and then Bip Bip is just like looking at the stalls. I think
Yeah.
it's a good.
Yeah.
Corn would just sneak back in. Hey guys.
Yeah, it,
No!
will take you a little bit. Taurin, you would be gone for a few minutes. Not like incredibly long, but long enough. You would be seeing how the guys are just walking around trying to find something in the market area. Of course, Taurin, being the perceptive person that you are, you can also see, because you were the one who found it last time, you can also see that the wizard friend is still around. You can see him waiting around in the same spot. He's sitting down, just kind of relaxing, chilling, not really doing much.
I shoot him. I don't have anything to shoot him with, but I shoot him.
I'll go get a peace pipe and we just sit there and chill together.
Hey,
Wait,
listen.
what's happening?
I mean,
Theodric is still around. He's in the market.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What wizards do?
The one thing, Kipper is going to just kind of like, I guess if we're still looking at stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Kipper's gonna try and do this relatively unconspicuously, but he's just gonna kind of tug on Rexmoa's coat for a moment, and he's just gonna be like, hey, could we talk about something for a second? Would
Is
that-
Yeah,
like-
of course.
Is that hidden from me or just like general public?
both you and Taurin.
Okay, well, Tolan's not in the picture right now. So.
Okay, because I just heard Taurin go like, "Hey, I'm back."
Oh, and
I mean,
Tolan
yeah,
went
yeah,
to.
Yeah.
I will be eventually.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm too tall. I can't hear you.
She's
correctly.
just practicing.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'm hiding it from Ambrose, which makes me feel bad, but
I can't believe you. Smite. I can't do that yet.
you can't smite me. I'm too short.
Hmm. Okay, so you're gonna try
Oh,
to
I swapped
you're gonna try to
places.
whisper something, a little subterfuge.
I'm trying to think of how I would like go around not say it in front of Ambrose. It's not pertaining to Ambrose, it's pertaining to Rexmoa.
Hmm. I mean, you could just like catch me at like a stall or something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're just kind of like walking around the market at the moment.
Oh, okay.
And also, if you would like to like pull Rexmoa aside, Ambrose would probably like at most notice and then not care.
Okay. Kipper's gonna pull Rexmoa into a stall and point at something to make it look like that he's like, "Hey, Rexmoa, you need to see this."
Hey, Rexmoa, I got a gift for you.
Why is
Oh.
that box so low, Ambrose?
What? What
Ambrose.
did you like me to see, lad?
Oh
Uh,
my lord.
Anyways, is the peace pipe thing still an option? Just tangent. Just asking.
So no reason for it.
Okay.
Dwarven, good.
Okay, so we're in the stall now.
Mm.
I'm assuming like Ambrose kind of gave us a glance, but is just like, they are looking at the items of which to buy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how I think Ambrose talks. That's just, yeah, I like talking like that. So there's something I've been meaning to say, or ask, I guess. I noticed it when we were in the town with the otter boy, and I think I've known for longer than I wish to admit. But when we met the Earth Titan, I think it was pretty well cemented. Do you have the Stone of Horus?
Yeah, Rexmoa's tired but chipper demeanor kind of takes a pause when you complete that question, and he takes a very obvious moment to, I guess, like to even process what you just asked him, and he says, lad, do you think now's a good time to be talking about that?
I don't know if I know there's really ever a good time to talk about it.
Well, that is fair enough statement.
I really should have picked it up sooner, considering that you literally flew back in on a giant bird, and you can, like, shoot gusts of wind now, and I don't think the two things really clicked together until we were in that other town. Which, like, obviously it doesn't change anything. I just wanted to know why you kept it from us.
Rexmoa, would you mind giving me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh, wow.
Constitution saving throw.
All right.
Oh, okay, not too bad.
Not bad, not bad. Rexmoa, the question makes you feel a little bit nervous at first. But you realize that it is not nervousness that you're feeling. You feel somewhat of an ache inside of your chest as you are talking to Kipper.
Yeah, the conversation still flows as usual, but yeah, Rexmoa's hand moves almost like subconsciously, and he like grips his chest a little bit at this feeling, and yeah, he winces a little bit and looks at Kipper and says, "You know what, lad? I don't have a complete answer for you yet, but you are right. I think now it's more important than ever to not keep secrets between everyone." And then, yeah, my gaze does shift to Ambrose as well, given the pretty, I guess, like a obvious turn of events of him being chosen by Vithius, and how Rexmoa is just thinking about how that stands opposed to how he was introduced to Oris. Like I said, I don't think this is the place to talk about it with so many eyes and ears, but I do owe you all a conversation.
I appreciate that. And I wasn't bothered or upset by it, really. I just figured if I found out, then it would be a matter of time before Ambrose and Taurin found out, and I felt like it might just be better. It would be better coming from you than anything else. I guess it would show trust. I know you wouldn't. It's not that you don't trust us, but it's easy to fall into that line of thinking. And I also won't lie that it might be a little hypocritical coming from me, but thank you.
I should be the one thanking you. Oh.
Well, I was about to say, Rexmoa, every time that you look around to the people that are just, doing their own lives, living their own separate lives around the market, you start feeling this sensation amplify a little more, followed by a soft ringing in your ear that kind of makes you dizzy.
It's getting hot in here.
It's just you.
I think
Uh,
maybe it is a better idea to find Theodric sooner than later and get to an inn. Or
would
maybe
Kipper
get back to the stone bed.
would Kipper not feel it getting hotter? Is the question. Like,
Uh,
would it like? Is it not warm in?
This is just something in like Rexmoa's mind, essentially. I can't imagine
No,
it's very hot.
exactly. I'm just trying to
within
see if Kipper would recognize that as a problem or not.
Why don't you give me a medicine check, Kipper? Let's see if you can like tell something is off.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Where would? Oh, yeah.
Okay. Kipper, you know about healing. You are aware of some diseases and symptoms. But as far as you can tell, Rexmoa is just feeling a lot of exhaustion. It's, you know, you can probably attribute that to like his years or like the you know, almost divine intervention you guys had.
Yeah, I think just Kipper hearing someone saying, "Is it getting hotter in here?" makes it like Kipper's like, "Well, that's a fever."
Exactly. You definitely can tell. But
Yeah.
as to what specifically, you're not sure. As I said, you either think it's either, oh, he's tired, or like, oh, you know, it's been a very rough day, or should, you know.
I don't know.
Kipper's-
He gripped his chest and he was starting to get hot. That's
Yeah.
like 2 signs for a heart attack. I'm just saying.
That is true. That is true.
Rexmoa is just so pretty, you know? Of
Okay,
course
old
he's hot.
man. It's time to go rest.
It's like that meme image of that old like bald guy like gripping his chest and having a heart attack.
Oh my lord.
I was like, oh
I-
no.
Are you sure you're doing okay, Rexmoa?
Yeah.
Kipper's like,
It's,
oh, sorry.
it's nothing new. I've been through far worse than a little tumble down a mine and a little stay in a jail cell. I'll be fine, lad.
Okay. Just if anything starts feeling weird, don't keep it a secret. Not like you would mean to, but I know how you like to keep everyone calm, so don't put us before yourself when it comes to health.
Well said.
Speaking of,
Yeah, and
Rexmoa, would you mind giving me another Constitution save?
they just keep coming.
Hey, listen. I got
Roll the
things to
one.
happen. Okay.
Oh.
All right. We'll see what happens. You can continue.
Oh, dang, Abbott.
At this point, Taurin, by the way, you would be back with the group. Like, you took a little bit. Now you're back. You just managed to find them again. It's kind of easy to find the one pink lizard folk, the large stone man, and the rabbit.
Yeah, I didn't
amidst
think
the
about it, but we'd
dwarves.
probably be towering above everyone else.
Yes.
Though I'm kind of alone right now. I'm just kind of like walking around.
Yeah, you see
You're
that.
probably
like-
like a stall or two down.
Yeah, exactly.
come on.
Still in,
So,
still
what's
in
everyone
the
up to right
immediate
meow?
vicinity, but
Wait, okay, this might be kind of funny, but like as I guess Taurin kind of walks in, I don't know if Taurin walks into the stall or near the stall where we are. Kipper just picks up, I guess, the nearest object and just kind of looks at it like, "Huh, what is this?" The question is, what stall are we in, and what item, like, what did I just like pull Rexmoa aside to like point at in front of Ambrose? Because
Roll me a
Kipper was not paying
d10.
attention.
Roll me a
Okay.
d10 to see what item you're looking at. Okay. You are looking at a stall that sells smaller crystals.
Oh, okay, that's
Meth?
better.
Not meth.
You know it. This isn't
Hey, you
just
can snort
regular
anything.
meth.
You can snort anything at least once.
Yeah.
No. Bad.
You can snort anything at least once. That's why the guy who put his head in the particle accelerator died.
Jeez. But yeah, you would see there's a lot of
rolled up
geodes and
newspaper.
smaller crystals in this stall.
Hit my knee.
Okay. Kipper, like, realizing it's crystals, he's like, oh, thank goodness. I didn't actually pay attention to what this doll was about. And he, I guess, takes a look to the left. I'm assuming the merchant in that stall heard him. I feel like he would have a grumpy face. This is Kipper's cue to leave.
So, Taurin, yeah, you stumble over the stall where Kipper and Rexmoa are just kind of talking, and you see Kipper pull out the move of, oh, what is this? And then just drop it, and then she just drops it in the stall and just walks away. And you can see Ambrose and obviously Cheese Jar with him, just looking around other stalls. At this point, you would be next to Rexmoa.
My back for perfect timing for something?
I mean, up to you.
Okay. I was just, as I was trying to say before, all she would say was just in a cheesy way. It would just be like, what's everyone up to right meow?
Kipper's just gonna kind of look at her like side eye, just like,
I'm just feeling a little tired.
Kipper like has a double side eye, turning like jarringly to the left to Rexmoa.
Stolen sound effect, please.
That sounds perfect,
Yeah.
actually. Rest and some R&R. Definitely inbound.
Oh.
Rexmoa, after sharing your joke, you again take a look around. You feel the noise of the market starts to get a little loud for you. Kind of overwhelming in that sensation. You put a hand on the stall to kind of keep yourself standing up because you feel your legs kind of giving in a little as well. This exhaustion is something that has not happened, but you feel a very, I guess, large weakness overtaking you as you speak.
Yeah, Rexmoa, yeah, he's definitely leaning on the stall and like using his staff to like prop himself up. It's taking all of his effort basically just to like not like fall over on the ground while he's here. And yeah, I think he just like faces the ground and tries to compose himself. And it feels like the sounds of the market and Taurin's very clever cat puns are just like fading away in the distance as he's trying to deal with all of this.
Guess her voice is coming a little muffled. Hey, are you okay? What's going on over there?
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
perfect.
exactly. The sounds of all around you kind of get muffled. It's a little overwhelming because you hear it's kind of a weird mix between all of it being amplified, but it's still muffled. So it all sounds like whispers in your ears, and it's making you very dizzy.
I'm assuming Kipper would notice like him just kind of like basically like trying to keep him up. Like this is it sounds like it's becoming very apparent.
Correct. If you are still around there, and if you turn to look, you would see now that Rexmoa is using his staff and the stall to balance himself and keep himself up.
Kipper's just gonna just be like, look at Rexmoa and be like, okay, this is kind of getting past your regular exhaustion, Rex. I'd kind of hold on. Kipper's gonna go up to Rexmoa. Let's see. Can Kipper use Lesser Restoration?
Yeah, sure thing. You can totally use Lesser Restoration on him.
Okay. Rexmoa, I'm just gonna do a little bit of Lesser Restoration. If you have exhaustion, it'll help it. But if this is something more, it should help it. I don't know if you contracted anything while we were in the caves. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
It's not like
he
stuff
can
that-
offer no response. Like he gets the feeling that someone is talking to him, and he can intuit that it's either Taurin or Kipper, but
Oh.
he cannot make out the words specifically.
Okay.
Kipper's gonna look over to Torn and Ambrose. I know Ambrose is probably a few stalls down. And Kipper's gonna yell, Ambrose! We're gonna need a bit of help over here. And I'm assuming Torn was right next to us.
Can Torrens search for the nearest inn?
Yeah, totally. Taurin, give me I would say an investigation check. And
Investigation
Kipper,
check?
would you
Yeah.
mind linking Lesser Restoration in the chat just so people can see it? Thank you. Yeah, Kipper,
Regular?
as you start casting your spell, your hands are glowing with this soft golden energy, and you move over to touch Rexmoa on the shoulder. You can see that as soon as your hand is about to reach the shoulder, the golden glow completely dissipates. And once you touch the shoulder, nothing happens.
Is Rexmoa still feeling cruddy?
Correct. It's to say this had no effect.
Actually, what do you call those back in the medieval days? The not apothecary, is it? No.
Yeah, you were looking
It's
for
like those
a
medicine spots.
Yeah,
They're like those
apothecary.
shops. Is that apothecaries?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty sure.
So I can't
Um,
remember if that's what they called. We could look for an apothecary, kind of in place, basically. I don't
Mhm.
know.
This
That's what I'm kind of looking for with my search.
my Lesser Restoration did nothing.
Ambrose and Chi,
This
by the
is-
way, you guys are the next couple of stalls over. Sorry to interrupt you, Kipper. You guys are this couple of
okay.
stalls over, so you definitely hear them and everything.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt, but that being said, when Kipper calls Ambrose's name, I will immediately move over and see what's going on. And, seeing that Rexmoa is struggling a tiny bit, I'll kind of help keep him propped up by using my, letting him rely on me.
Grab him by the belt, make sure you got a good grip, and then you gotta walk with him. It's old man. Remember, be gentle.
Okay, I'll bladder carry him.
Nah.
I mean, hey, if you're letting yourself be carried, yeah. For Taurin, with your investigation, yeah, you can look around. You can see the inns because they have the signs with beds and a person sleeping, so it's easy for you to find. You've already found the postal office in this town, so you just look around and be like, oh, that's probably one of those. We can probably, do that. Rexmoa, as you are touched by Kipper, you feel a slight warm sensation on your shoulder as the magic tries to seep in, but it immediately dissipates. It goes entirely cold. You are now sweating cold, and you're also kind of shivering.
She said a thing.
Oh, sorry about that. Chi seems to send out a wave of magic, but then stop. I do not think our magic would help him, she says, sounding worried. This is something different.
You don't mean it's... Oh, goodness. Okay, let's just get him to an inn.
Ooh, Rexmoa, the world becomes a blur for Rexmoa as he's carried by Ambrose. Once Rexmoa falls, well, not falls, but it's being carried by Ambrose, you can see that as you guys are moving towards the inn, this catches the attention of Theodric, who stands up from his spot and walks over to you, looking worried about what is going on. He approaches the group kind of quickly, and once you're moving towards the inn, he just kind of walks with you and he says, what's wrong? What's wrong with the lizard?
We don't know. We were in the mines, and he just started feeling unwell by the time we got out.
Have you tried?
He did seem...
Oh, no, go ahead.
He did seem a bit tired when we returned from the mines, but this is a lot worse than earlier.
Yeah, and he didn't sleep very well the other night, so I mean that could be a factor, but I don't know if this is a compound issue or potentially something magic related.
Have any of you tried any healing magic?
Lesser restoration doesn't work. I'm the team cleric pretty much, and it feels different. It's almost like his body rejected my healing.
And he kind of stops you all for a moment and he says, hold on for a second. He gets close to Ambrose and Ambrose and Rexmoa.
Yeah, I mean, I'm carrying him.
Exactly. And he hovers his hand over to Rexmoa's chest, and you can see like there is a faint glow on his hand, which also is much more dim than what you guys have used to seeing Theodric's magic. And he closes his eyes to kind of focus on what he's doing, and he frowns. He says, "Oh, this does not look good. Would you mind taking him to my house? I can probably help you with this, but it's not something I can do in an inn."
Your house?
Well, I mean, at least you don't have to pay. Let's go.
Right, please, come this way. And he would lead you again through the marketplace where you guys found him first, where you located Taurin's belongings. He would lead you across the different like alleyways and other residential parts of this dwarving city until you guys find a simple house. As he said, stone layout, a small door, which he opens, of course, and rushes everybody inside. And he gestures over to the bed that is in the only room of this house. So he, tells Ambrose to leave Rexmoa into this room. And he says, "Right, okay. I can try helping your friend, but it's going to take me a little. I do not wish to be disturbed, however. I am so sorry, but I think I can help him, but I'm gonna ask you to leave."
What exactly are you going to do?
I think this is related to the ancient magic that I felt. This is not an ordinary disease, per se. Not something your average healer could get rid of. No offense, of course, he says, looking at Kipper.
I apologize, Theodric, but as you do this, I demand that I'm here. I think I know what it is, so you don't have to worry about that aspect.
To the ancient magic, you said. Is it?
mhm.
Is it fading? Is that why he's got this dizzy spell?
I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps it's too much exposure to it. I wish I could tell you, but I'm going to have to perform rituals and other sort of magical incantations to help me figure this out entirely. You can stay at the house, but I'm going to at least ask you to not enter the room. I
Makes sense.
would not like for this condition to spread to more people.
You want to isolate it. I understand that. Just probably want to stick to outside the room and kind of peer inside Kipper. It sounds like it's going to be some serious magic he'll be doing in there.
Kipper's going to peer into Theodric's eyes. Zero emotion in his face. He's just gonna be like, I'm going to be outside. I'll see you in a bit, I guess.
Thank you, and I am sorry. And once he says this, he just kind of readies up the room, just kind of moves some stuff around, and obviously as you guys come out, he closes the door into the
I'll
room.
just quickly tell him that, like, if he needs us to get anything, just to shout.
Oh yeah, he would say that that it's fine. It's going to be a long
careful
process.
in there.
He just nods at you and he closes the door, just letting the room alone for the time being. And you guys are inside the house. You can see it's a very small house. There's only like a small dining / kitchen area and the one room that you guys saw.
Tiny little house. Taurin looks around, pretty inquisitive. Probably more towards like the books is where she would head and kind of look to see what his reading material is.
Taurin, as a matter of fact, you see that there is a surprising lack of items in this house.
Oh my. Not even one book?
Nope. The house,
Oh
it's furnished, but there are not a lot of things in this house.
It's like an Airbnb. Got it. Just furniture. That's it.
Yeah,
It's all for show.
kind
Great.
Kind of.
This
Okay.
place reminds me of the same one he had back in Misspell. There's not much in here.
I'm just learning to be able to trust him. But when it comes to one of your lives, I'm hesitant, to say the least.
Well, trust has to start somewhere, right? And Theo's been with us so far, oddly enough, from the beginning, if you want to think about it.
Preferably not here, though.
In his weird magical house.
She says he hasn't harmed any of us yet.
Yes. In any case, as much as I hate to say it, Kipper, your magic didn't do anything earlier. Theodric is our best bet.
He's not being entirely honest with what this is.
He'll tell us in his own way.
I don't trust that.
He
As
has
you're
brought to light
talking-
some things. Mhm.
As you're talking to Kipper, you'll just see, like, kind of an eerie stoicness about him. Like, eyes wide open, almost like he's peering through the wall in front of him. Eyes not directly coming in contact with anyone in particular, just in a different mode than average.
She says, I don't think he himself knows yet.
It seemed maybe familiar at best. I wouldn't know where to begin.
Well,
I'm gonna make some tea while we wait. We all need to relax, I think. She'll try and look for the kitchen.
The kitchen is right there. You can see that there's like the basic things for somebody to live. You can see like there's a kettle, there's place to make a fire, and all of those like pots and sort of things.
Perfect. Is there like a pail of water or something nearby, maybe?
Yeah. We'll say that this house is kind of equipped with all of that.
The basics.
Mhm.
Torin's gonna make some tea.
Easy enough. You get the flames roaring and you start getting the kettle going. As for the rest of you, you guys are staying in this house, I presume?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a small
I mean,
like
not
dinner
really
table.
a reason to go elsewhere.
Yeah, you guys have a small dinner table as, you know, just to sit down there. There are no more beds. The only bed is being used at the moment. So it's gonna be a rough night for all of you.
I will set up like my bedroll, and I'll just kind of like sit on it for now and like press up against the wall. But before I do, I'll kind of like motion for a Kipper to join me.
Kipper's gonna peel his sight away from the door. And as he does, he's just gonna cock his head and say, well, if he tries to do anything, I will feel it. And then he turns to follow Ambrose.
Notably, I'm not terribly far away from the door. I'm close enough where if I stood up, I could like very quickly like run over and just like open the door if need be. So it seems like at least internally, Ambrose has a pretty similar idea in mind, but he's not outright showing it. But yeah, I'm just kind of like sitting on the ground, and once you get a bit closer, I will just kind of like lightly put a hand on your shoulder, almost kind of like forcing you slightly to like sit down. And I will just kind of, with the same hand on your shoulder, just kind of like lightly pull you closer to me as I sit against the wall. I don't really say anything, but just kind of stay quiet.
Kipper's eyes and face lighten, and he looks up to Ambrose, and he just kind of just puts his hand in his hands, and he's like, well, today was surely a day, I guess.
It was. It's been long, arduous. We've barely got a wink of rest since we set out this morning. I imagine that's not been very helpful to whatever was ailing our friend.
I should have caught the symptoms earlier. Just because they were masked under falling a few times in the caverns, but we did have Featherfall. There really shouldn't have been any injuries enough that would have shown. It's not like he was poisoned by any monsters visible to us down in the caves. I can't perceive this as anything past magical, and I think Rexmoa knows what this is.
He might. But, if we're being honest here, I didn't notice anything was wrong until it was too late. You still saw it before I did. You still tried to help him before it got too bad.
Honestly, really only 5 minutes before, and this is like my profession. But
And maybe that's enough to save him.
yeah, maybe. He will pull through, though. I know that, at least.
Well, at the very least, he's died once and bounced back. I think he'll do it again.
Oh my goodness, don't remind me. He's also fainted a good amount of times in fighting. He forgets his age.
Yes.
Not that I'd like to remind him of his age, because that seems kind of mean, but if he would only take care of himself a bit more, but I guess that's what I'm here for. Don't know how he survived before he was in a party.
It would also help if I did a bit better at putting myself in front of him. But he's a bit faster than me.
You generally try. He does not make it easy. But
So-
he
Oh,
has
okay.
the same mentality as you. You want to protect him, he wants to protect you. I don't think that's something you can necessarily change.
She says, I don't feel like anyone can stop Rexmoa when he has his mind on something.
Yeah. I feel like that applies to a lot of us here, doesn't it?
I'd say just a tad. We're all stubborn in our own ways. But I know, considering the several conversations that we've had previously about me, but I don't think that you should blame yourself at all here. Rexmoa was probably trying to hide any sort of frailty he has, but he wouldn't worry.
When he wakes up, I'm going to... Well, not hit him in the head with a brick, because that wouldn't help, but I really want to drill it in him that if he starts feeling any kind of weirdness, that he talks to, literally, the free cleric that is right there. Not that I'm incredibly annoyed, it's just... He's so selfless to a fault where it endangers his own health. But that also applies to you, I guess. And Kipper, gives, a little, pap to Ambrose's head.
Maybe that's why we get along so well.
Thank goodness Taurin knows some healing as well.
Speaking of, Taurin would show
Miss-
up with some tea to share around.
Tea! Does that mean we get chai
Tea?
tea?
Oh
I'm sorry.
my lord.
You mean
I'm
TT?
sorry. I'm sorry.
Greenie, get him.
But,
Greenie, kill that
Jesus.
rock man.
no, not power would kill.
That would kill.
But I'll kind of point down at the fairy on my hip. That I've probably taken she off my hip and just kind of like actually set her on my lap. That way, she doesn't get like jostled as I sit down. But I'll kind of like point over to her and be like, "We have this one too."
Tea.
So as you guys are spending some time, it starts to get a little later in the night. Are you gonna set up spots to sleep like Ambrose did?
Well, we do come travel ready, so we do have bedrolls.
Correct.
I will happily set out mine. Make it
Yeah,
nice and
so
fluffy.
if you're looking at
Turn
to
into a
do
cat,
that, like
go in a couple circles.
you can also do that. Hey, you're a druid. You 100% can.
Just turn into a mouse and go underneath the door and watch Theodric.
With big eyes. What's going on?
But yeah, as you guys are, time's passing. How are you setting up your night? I'm assuming you can move like the things away, and if you're setting down the bedrolls, there will be just enough space for you to do. You gotta push like the table and the chairs away, but you guys can make yourself an improvised, I guess, bedroom in here. And you guys are
Kipper
going to
maybe like drank half a cup of tea and then just kind of fell asleep before the bedrolls were laid out.
Oh, so Kipper is sleeping on either on the table or like where? Or no, well, he would be.
I mean-
he would have stolen your bedroll, Ambrose.
Yeah, as I was about to say, mine's already out, and I kind of laid it out for us to like sit on, basically.
Exactly. Good. So everybody would take their bedrolls, and you guys would be able to get some sleep. It's not the most comfortable, but I mean, it's kind of like sleeping in the outdoors, to be fair. This time you're a lot safer though. And all of you would gain the benefits of a long rest, including you, Rexmoa, by the way.
Thank goodness.
I suppose I'll note it take me a bit longer than usual to fall asleep, because I'm kind of just staring at the door for a while, and also every once in a while I'm glancing at the sword that I'm not wearing anymore. It's on the ground now, because I'm not going to try and sleep with a sword on me. However, I am
Good
still doing
choice.
the same thing I'm used to, which is basically like holding on to my sword and it's like nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Just sleeping hand in hand, hand with the sword on. Nope, not leaving my side, but it's there.
I mean, that's basically what Ambrose does, though. Like, if he's like sleeping against something, he would like literally have it in his lap as he kind of like hugs it to himself.
For
He kind of treats it like a stuffed animal, honestly.
Alrighty.
A show-up stuffed animal.
So as you guys fall into your sleeps and, take a nice rest, Kipper, you are sleeping very quietly. You feel, for some strange reason, you feel calm. You feel like all of this stress, all of this like fear that you just felt when facing your lizard dad's illness and all of the things that have happened during the day, they just kind of fade away as you are sleeping. You feel warm and very cozy as you are in your sleep. And a little bit of a cold breeze wakes you up. Kipper, you open your eyes, and however, you don't see the same room that you were in. The same living room, I would say, that you were in. Your friends are no longer around you. For some reason, this doesn't seem concerning to you. And you look down into yourself and you notice a very familiar blanket. And you start properly looking around and you see a very familiar room. And you look down upon yourself and Kipper, you are seeing yourself as you were a few years ago. And you are in your home at Mistbell. The smell of food makes your belly grumble, so you stand up, smaller now than you were. Get some clothes, change your sleeping clothes into something more appropriate. You know this by memory. This is the routine that you had almost every morning. This is nothing new to you. You're living this as if it was the most normal thing in the world. You hear from the other corner of the house a voice calling your name. Your ears stand up and joy fills your heart as you hear the voice of your mom, Kipper, calling out that food is ready.
Does Kipper realize a little bit that this is weird? Obviously not anxious, but... Or is he too enthralled in it?
So far, it's an unbelievable sensation that you are pretty much consumed by it.
Okay, so I'm very in it. I'm not like...
Correct.
Not like questioning anything.
Correct.
Okay. I guess Kipper's going to drag his blanket with him and go into the kitchen.
You see,
just like a little blanket cape going all the way back.
you see the house as you remembered it, Kipper. A very small house in the, I guess, residential part of Mistbell. Your room was large because it was your parents' room and your bed was next to them. Of course, your parents at this point would have been out for work and your mom is taking care of, you. And once you go out, you see your mom serving you a plate of food. Everything seems as large as you used to remember it back in the day. And as you sit down and start eating the food, even though it wasn't any fancy food or, nothing, I would say, good per se, it was the food that you liked the most. You start eating it with such joy. And it fills you. Your belly is full, your heart is very happy, and your mom is right there, just joining you for food. smiling, seeing how you are devouring that plate, getting your face dirty with the food, helping you clean out. Then, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know what to say to a lot of this.
Correct.
I guess Kipper keeps eating food.
Correct. He would eat your food, and everything is so nice. You finish your food, your mom takes away the plate, and suddenly a knock on the door. Your mom asks you to go and see what it is, and as you open the door, you see the familiar faces of your friends. The other lizard folk, a elven lady, and another half-elven man. Oh, kid. As they all come in and ask if you could go out and play. You are obviously excited about this. So you turn to your mom asking for permission. Your mom just nods and she takes away your blanket cape because you cannot take that outside. And she just kind of helps you comb your hair a little bit. It was a little, you had a little bit of a bad head. And she gives you a kiss on the forehead and just kind of, ushers you out. She does say that, you're gonna have to be careful with the water and to come back later for food. And if by any chance you see your dad, be sure to say hi. So Kipper, you happily go out with your friends, running around the wooden streets of Mistbell, hopping over the different platforms, playing tag in the alleyways, climbing up onto other people's houses. Sometimes you get yelled at, sometimes people don't even care. They already know who you are. You know that your group is like the rascals of this side of town. Things look great as time passes, and all of you, the group of friends, is tired. Of course, running around, yelling, laughing, playing. It's all nice. You guys stop at one of the bridges that connect the multiple districts of Mistbell to catch your breath and look towards the mainland outside of the lake. Your friends wonder, how is it out there? Some of them ask, do you think there are castles that block the sun and are so large that touch the clouds? Some others ask for beautiful houses, exotic food. All of these things that you and your group used to fantasize about regularly. But Kipper, there is something in the corner of your eye. Something that catches your attention, but you play it off as nothing. And as you're enjoying your time with your friends, you see it again. It's something very strange and eerie about what is going on in here. Your friends and you move over to one of the other plazas of Mistbell to just find a place to lay down and look at the sky. The plaza is a somewhat open place where you guys can enjoy the view of the clouds at this time of the year. A very pleasant summer where clouds are nice and fluffy in the distance. Kipper, you feel odd now. This happiness slowly starts to fade away. It almost feels like the world around you, the nice, vibrant colors that you are seeing, slowly fade to gray.
Do I know the names of the children I'm with?
Of course, Kipper. They are the childhood friends that you've been sharing before everybody took on their ways.
Kipper's going to turn to the eldest, Loriope.
Mm-hmm.
This was around the age when they went, wasn't it? I don't remember being any bigger than this.
You can tell that the children are looking at you as you were speaking, as if they were listening, of course. And they just kind of laugh innocently as, you know, as if your words had a different meaning than what you are actually saying.
I remember just bits and pieces. I think that was the last meal my mom ever made me.
The kids are still joking about, like, you know, saying things like, oh, I'm going to visit so-and-so tomorrow. Oh, hey, I want to buy this from the market. I've saved up a couple of silver pieces and, you know, normal conversations. Of course, clearly not addressing what you're saying.
Kipper's going to, like, directly hold the hands of Loriope and just look into her eyes. You have to feel something's wrong, too. Right?
Kipper, as
Kind of
you...
the
No, go ahead, go ahead.
edges- Sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Kind of at the you have to feel that something's wrong too, right? At the edges of your mind, like, this isn't how it's meant to be. Oh, you wouldn't feel anything, would you?
Kipper, as you reach over to grab Loriope's hand, you see now that your hand is armored, the same armor you've been wearing since the journey started. You notice that you are no longer small. You are the present you as you're laying down with the others. And you stand up and see your companions laying in front of you, sleeping as well. Of course, all three of them, Rexmoa, Ambrose, and Taurin.
Rexmoa was still being treated. I'm still in it right now, aren't I?
Kipper, as you stand up, you feel the ground shake. You almost fall to your knees. And you look around, seeing how, you know, this has been felt by people. The kids also get up and they're like scared. And you can see the atmosphere just kind of stops for a moment as everybody addresses the small earthquake that just happened. And looking around, you see the water below the lake in one of the edges of platforms nearby starts to shake violently. Waves crashing side to side, making even the largest platforms swing and swing.
I don't know why it chooses to make me relive this moment. You realize if you really wanted to convince me of anything, you should just do it face to face.
Kipper, the shaking of the ground comes back again. The kids all go running away to their own houses. You see your other companions are still asleep. You can't really do much. Your body feels stiff, frozen. As the water keeps shaking the town of Mistbell and the ground keeps moving. Kipper, suddenly, the movement stops, both from the water and from the earth. And letting out a sigh of relief, thinking that this is all over, you turn to start walking over to your companions, the sleeping ones, when you hear a loud crash from one of the further sections of Mistbell. And you raise your eyes to see what is going on. And what you see not only does surprise you, but it terrifies you. Kipper, you see a large, and I mean very large, snake-like creature coming from below the lake, crashing above the town and sinking a whole district of Mistbell. The creature is several kilometers long as it jumps out, surfaces, and then goes down into the lake. You run over to one of the bridges nearby to see the chaos and destruction that is happening to that part of town, when in the background your eyes go wide as the shaking of the ground makes the earth itself crack, and you see the image of the mountains itself moving. They rise up as a giant tortoise lifts itself up from beneath them and starts walking. Every step is an incredibly strong tremor. The sky slowly starts turning dark. As you look up, the clouds completely disappear as if an act of magic. And you see the sun starts being blocked by a dark sphere being carried by a gigantic bird, until the sun is completely blocked and only dark rays can be seen. Everything is almost in darkness. And then you start hearing screaming coming from the people around you. And you turn to look and see people are on fire. Kipper, the town itself is on fire. You are desperately trying to help, but the flames are too hard to even do anything about them. People are running away, launching themselves into the water. The screaming, the horror that you are witnessing. As you see in the distance, passing by the black smoke, the long legs and the glowing abdomen of a gigantic spider walking around. You see the 4 titans clash against each other. You can feel the strength of each hit. It destroys parts of your town. It blows buildings as if they were simply paper. The earth starts swallowing every forest, every feature you've seen. Thunder and lightning are wild in the sky. What are you doing?
Kipper is going to... Well, you can obviously... Kipper's definitely stressed now. He's just gonna fall to his knees and look directly at the sky as he yells, "All right, I get it. It's not like I don't already know this is all gonna happen. I don't see why you needed to go through the entire scenario. I know what is going to happen. But you must have felt it already. I don't care."
Kipper, you are looking up, and suddenly movement in your peripherals catches your attention. You see all the people that were running around, they have suddenly stopped. They are all looking at you. You start looking around. Every single person is looking at you, Kipper. You cannot make up their faces. However, you see their silhouettes clearly. The people that are looking at you are all in flames. Suddenly, familiar whispers start drowning your head. Whispers you've heard a few times before. As the people start walking over to the position where you are, laying down, until there is a large crowd that surrounds you. All of them staring at you, blank faces.
So this is how you choose to reveal yourself. Out with it.
You see that in the crowd something moves, and the same children that you were with mere moments ago walk to the front. The whispers getting loud, unbearably so. Your mind is full of noise, something that is more annoying than anything. You cannot form a single thought from the noise in your ears. Then suddenly, the noise starts to make sense. the noise starts forming words. One of the kids approaches you. A half-elven man. Again, no face. But you can hear what he's saying, slowly making sense. Kill them. Then the girl approaches, and again, kill them. The lizard folk approaches.
Who do you mean?
Kill them. Kipper, your mother and father approaches. Kill them. The random people in town all start chanting. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. The words, the whispers that were plaguing your mind are now the same chant. Kill them, kill them, kill them, kill them, all over again. And then suddenly, silence. And the only thing that you can hear in the background as the people are still staring at you is the sounds of the Titans flashing.
I think I understand. In some awful way.
Kipper, this experience makes you close your eyes and hope to forget about it. You feel your mind returning back to where you were before. But not before hearing one final whisper. Kill them. It said. And you wake up. Now, in the bedroll that you were sleeping in, the same dwarven house you were in, and your friends around you.
Is anyone else awake yet?
I mean, I guess you guys would be waking up.
How early would it be when Kipper wakes up?
It's early enough, I would say.
Should I turn into a rooster?
You could.
I would say Ambrose
know what?
normally wakes up like a bit
Let's make
before
it canon. Let's just do it.
sunrise.
Do it.
Do
Yeah,
it.
you can do it. Hey,
I might be a
if-
rooster.
okay, you can. Yeah, then you know what, Kipper, you are woken up by the chant of a rooster, right
wow.
next to your ear, and you can see it's
That's rude.
it's a leopard print rooster.
Leopard print rooster.
Would any of the people next to me realize that I was crying in my sleep?
Well, now that you're up, they can probably see it.
I mean, I would say that Kipper and Ambrose have probably slept right next to each other, I would imagine. Considering
Ah, yeah.
Kipper basically fell asleep in his bedroll.
Correct.
Cuddle buddies.
So
Like plush size.
my idea is that like Ambrose essentially just like slept against the wall, kind of like sitting up, and just kind of like lightly had like just like part of the bedroll just like on his lap. So question would be, does Kipper have any, like, obvious telltale signs?
Kipper might still be like it might be like fresh tears.
Well, and considering our proximity, I will say, good morning. Kind of like rubbing my eyes. I hear Taurin in the background.
Taurin just kind of walked over next to your bedrolls and just started yelling.
And kind of looking down at Kipper as he sits up entirely, I will frown a bit and furrow my brow. Are you alright?
She says, "Good morning, friends."
I dreamt about my mother. It was the last meal that she really ever made for me, and I don't know. Maybe Rexmoa being in this situation brought back that feeling, but I didn't realize I still remembered her face.
I see, yeah. I'll reiterate my question. Are you alright?
I will be.
Was seeing your mother a good thing?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was. Thank you.
Somewhat silently, I will just kind of lightly pull Kipper closer to me, kind of like wrapping an arm around the side of him. I feel like there's something else, but if you say you're alright, you're alright. But I am here, Taurin is here, and Rexmoa will be here.
The funniest part, and I don't want to ruin the moment, but the funniest part is that Taurin would be like, "Quack."
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're like totally just tuning Taurin out. She does not exist.
Damn.
Then I'm gonna go over to the door and start plucking at it like a knock to see if Theo's awake.
Well, now that you mention that, we'll go to Rexmoa for a moment. Rexmoa,
What's the news?
you wake up in a bed that you haven't seen before. Of course, the room is new for you. You wake up feeling fine. The exhaustion of before has mostly gone. And once you open your eyes, you can see that the stone is on your chest. The white stone with small stars. You grab onto it and look around, and you see Theodric is sitting in a corner of the room. He is in a state of meditation. But the interesting thing is that from the edges of the room and the ceiling and some of the walls, you see crystal formations, a crystal you've seen before, a white crystal with a rainbow opalescent shimmer. All around it, what do you do?
I try to get up from bed and not disturb Theodric while he's meditating, and just I guess just like generally check in with myself and see how I'm feeling all over.
Yeah, you stand up, you kind of stretch a little bit, and you feel like, hey, you know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very nice. But and as you're about to walk out, you take a step further away from the bed, and Theodric, still not losing his posture, speaks. And he says, well, you find yourself in quite a predicament.
And what predicament might that be?
He opens his eyes to see, well, you know how Theodric is. Let me put a picture of him for the people who doesn't know how he looks like. This
Suddenly you
is
hear a rooster outside the door.
Oh, this is the thing. You don't hear anything outside the door.
Soundproof.
It all explodes.
There it is. It's a face clam, but kind of like that. You see him open his eyes again, and he says, well, my friend, I know you're not the only one special here. I've told you how I am able to sense the ancient energy that, coincidentally, the stones of Titans tend to emanate. And he slowly stands up. You can see that the crystal was kind of growing around him, so he has to like move a little. So, you know, he doesn't like, I guess, bumps himself against the crystals. And he goes, you know, you shouldn't lose that at all. He points at the stone that is in your hand. Not just because of, well, the immense amount of power that you hold in your hands, of course. But I'm afraid to tell you, losing it may be the end of you.
The end? In what way?
He nods and, like, you know, he kind of dusts off his robes a little. And he goes, well, I can feel your energy, Rexmoa. You are not from around here. You are not supposed to be here. And I think you know that. He starts pacing around the room, just kind of circling you around. Not clearly doing anything, just kind of walking. He says, well, Horus chose you for a reason. But I am inclined to believe that there is more to it than just their champion. He stops in front of you and looks at you and he says, Rexmoa, you're fading away. There is no easier way to say this. But this energy that I feel, the energy that is keeping you here, is right there. And he points at the stone. You've been split from it for a few hours. And look at what happened. I wouldn't want to know what would happen if you were to be without it for longer.
Yeah, Rexmoa's gaze is fixated on this stone. And when he holds the stone, does it invoke any feelings in him like it did before?
Of course. There is the feeling of love, the feeling of responsibility that you still feel every time that you are in contact with the stone.
You know, I feel like I've escaped death and demise many times in my adventures, and I thought that my encounter with Horus was just one last miracle before I could head home. And I guess it turns out I'm just living on borrowed time?
Theodric kind of shrugs at this and he says, powerful beings work in many mysterious ways. But the way that I see it is that you've been given another chance. And a big one at that. So, I am assuming the big bird expects you to do something.
Rexmoa, chuckles to himself a little bit. Do something? Like what? Save the world? Go through with this prophecy?
Theodric raises both hands as, kind of like saying, not my problem. He goes, I wouldn't be able to tell you. This is, well, something that was entrusted to you. I am only the one with the gift to feel these things.
It's just us here, right? I assume from the appearance of this room and the fact that I can't hear 3 very vigorous youths outside that were pretty isolated from the world.
He smiles at you and turns around to just kind of knock on the door, but you see that the door itself is kind of cracks a little, as if it was an illusion of some sort. He says, we won't be bothered here.
So can we just be honest with one another? Knowledge seeker to knowledge seeker?
As honest as I can be.
Yes. I am the champion of Horus, and out there, as you probably intuited. Ambrose is the champion of Vithius.
He nods. He says, yeah, well, I can't say I'm surprised. My senses do not fail me yet. But it's going to be rough for all of you. You already possess more power than any person, really, in the palm of your hand. And, well, it turns out that that same power is the one thing keeping you from fading away. If I had to guess, well, that is a very large responsibility on your hands.
Kingdoms are willing to go to war with one another just to possess one of these stones. So much power. And all it's doing is anchoring this lizard to the earth.
You must be very special if Horus thinks that you need to be the one.
Rexmoa lets out a deep sigh. You've wandered these lands for many, many years, haven't you? I think I don't want to be special. You know what I want most of all? I just want to walk through that door, and I want to see my beautiful wife, and I want to hear the chirps of my children, the sounds of the waves. I'm done adventuring. I should have been done adventuring a long time ago. And can't this be someone else's responsibility?
I can tell you, if it was as easy as just handing the stone over, trust me, I believe you would have done so, but you haven't. You have a duty to see this through. And Horus saw the same in you. That is why you hold his power. You know, I also wish I didn't have to do this. I wish I could just be calm, live my life, not having to worry about this. But unfortunately, nobody gets to choose. At least, I know I couldn't. But, you know, everyone has their own jar, right? He says, smirking at you, Rexmoa.
That does get a little giggle out of him as he continues to eye the stone. You know, one day she'll be free. Maybe there's still hope for the both of us yet. But I suppose, regardless, we're not going to find our freedom just standing in this room.
Theodric nods at your words. You can tell, like, he wants to say something. Like, he's trying to find the words to say something. But he stops himself. And he just smiles again. And he says, well, you're right. I think we should keep going. And he turns around to tap this illusion with his hand, and it slowly starts to fade away as you start hearing the sounds from the outside, you know, the clucking of a rooster and the speaking, the talking of your friends. And Theodoric turns around to say one last time, go through with it. I think there is hope for everybody. And he smiles and opens the door to witness what is happening outside in his house.
Kitchen a mess, a chicken in the house. What the heck?
There is a leopard printed chicken in the house. The bunny is crying. The rock man is trying to, like, you know, be nice to the bunny.
But is emotionally unstable himself and has no idea how to show empathy the correct way.
Correct.
Tell me, are you going to be joining me out there, or will the responsibility of explaining all this rely on me?
Oh, well, I would not want to leave you to say everything. And he stops again, and again, you can see he's trying to, like, say something. He's, like, thinking about what to say. And he stops himself and he says, yeah, I'll join you.
Well, I suppose I owe you an even deeper gratitude. And yeah, Rexmoa will walk through the doorway to kind of wrangle this leopard printed chicken.
Yeah, so you guys can see Theodoric and Rexmoa coming out of the room. Rexmoa looks good now. He is no longer sick.
Kipper's head, like, immediately juts up. And he tries to, like, quickly and sneakily, like, rub all the tears out of his face and be like, no, that didn't happen.
It's okay, lad. I'm right here. You can shed all the tears that you need to.
Are you still feeling feverish at all, or?
Feeling right as rain, thanks to our mutual acquaintance over here.
Theodoric just gives a little, like, bow.
Yeah.
Kipper's gonna, like, get off the bedroll and just kind of dust himself off, stand in front of Rexmoa, and then just go in for a hug. He's like,
Yeah, Rexmoa will definitely reciprocate the hug. There's probably a little bit more, how you say? A little bit more, like, force than he expected, especially from such a small, dubious little creature like Kipper. But he accepts it all the same.
I will stand slowly, just, you know, carefully and make sure to grab Chi out of my lap before I knock her over. And then I'll move over to Rexmoa and Kipper, and I'll just kind of quietly say, you know, Chi was really worried for you. And you can see the line, those energy lines that kind of like are all throughout Ambrose's body, kind of like almost very vibrant and almost like pulsating, as he kind of tries to try to hide my face, almost like in your shoulder, as I kind of like put an arm around you.
She would say, "Welcome back, Rexmoa. Good morning, Master Theodric." Theo just kind of gives a little head bow, politely.
Yeah. Good morning, Chi. I didn't mean to worry you. Along with anyone else, of course. And where is Taurin in
Kipper
all of
looks
this
up
mess?
with like the buffiest eyes.
You can see the chicken just kind of walking.
Fuck.
I
All
didn't mean
ruffled
to
up.
make anyone worry. Just like straight up clamshell spaghetti eyes.
I'm glad you're keeping everyone's spirits up, Taurin.
And yeah, don't forget, Taurin, you can switch back at any point.
I'll turn back now, but yeah, that was the goal. Yay! So she'll greet both Theo and Rexmoa. Good morning to you both.
Well, I suppose I owe you a bit of a explanation, and hopefully we, and I gesture towards Theodric, can provide some answers and alleviate your fears. And yeah, the first thing I do is, after, enjoying everyone's affectionate, warm embrace, is that I will wriggle my way out a little bit and take a few steps back and present the Stone of Oris. Well, I have to regrettably admit that I haven't been completely honest with you all. I have been chosen by Oris to be their champion. And I guess the reason why I didn't want to explain or reveal this was because I was hoping you all wouldn't have to be implicated in this. But given recent events, I see that such an outcome might not be possible. And yeah, I just look towards Ambrose, and in particular, I look towards Ambrose's sword with the stone of Vithius. It's in the pommel, right? That's where it is?
Yes.
Or
It is
Yeah.
the pommel, pretty much.
yeah.
It's like a jagged.
Okay.
Oh, it's almost circular, but it's like jagged. It's kind of like not properly cut. It's more like a raw stone.
Mm. And as you all know, and I'm sure is still seared into your memory, is my encounter with Oris. I learned that was not my first time meeting my end. And that they gave me a second chance at life. But in exchange, I would have to carry out their will as the champion of Oris. And one thing that I've learned is that the stone and I are intrinsically linked, and that I cannot stray too far away from it. Theodric here theorizes that my time in The jail cell, separated from the stone, weakened me. And that if I were to stay separated any further, well, the results would only get worse.
Theodric nods and he goes, "Oh, these things work in mysterious ways."
Wait,
So, yeah. Go ahead.
So the longer you're away from the stone, the more ill you feel? Is it like once you attune to a stone, you can't go away from it for a certain amount of time, or you'll start to... Is it like withdrawal? Is this gonna happen to Ambrose as well?
Well, thankfully, we theorize that I'm a special case in this instance. For...
Theodric steps in and, interrupts him a little, and he goes, "Unfortunately, or, well, fortunately for you, my stone friend, it will be alright. The years are catching up a little on good old Rexmoa here." He just kind of pats you awkwardly in the shoulder. "So, the effects are different, but don't be alarmed. It's not gonna happen to you."
So he just has to stay close to the stone and carry out the will of the god. What happens then?
As long as he has the stone, he will be fine. Take the stone
What-
away for some time and, well, you should be worried.
What will happen when we reunite Crenia?
Well, I'm hoping that... I get to spend a long time on the beach, fishing, teaching my kids how to swing a staff, perhaps refreshing my culinary skills so I can be more helpful around the house. And, let's not think too much about the alternative outcome.
Theodric,
I'd rather stay positive.
yeah, Theodric
thinking-
shrugs as well. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was just thinking that it would restore balance, so maybe that might help your certain affliction, possibly?
Yes, I like this attitude.
Well,
Positive.
I guess I've always been a bit of a unique case for clerics, so it's definitely a different aspect than from what I'm used to treating, but I can see if I can find ancient text, books, whatever the like. I guess it's just another subject for research.
You'll be able to write one hell of a thesis about me.
Yeah, I mean, like, how can you do high kicks? I mean, not like you're that old, but like, I mean, hot damn, like,
Stay flexy.
yeah.
That's why you should stretch every night before you go to bed, Kipper. Your youth will only carry you so far.
Mm,
But I suppose the real danger comes in the fact that the High Council, they're still looking for the stones. And we still don't fully understand what the dwarves are up to either. And if me and the stone are to be together, well, it might limit our diplomatic options when it comes to the rulers of the kingdoms.
They just
I,
don't need to know. You have.
yeah. I honestly feel like Taurin is right. I feel like between us, knowing each of us have the stones, of course it makes sense, but for all they know, it's just jewelry
Exactly.
or keepsakes, or, well, specifically, they might feel the magic coming off of it, and we would just be like, oh, well, this is a special rune, or this is a gem that helps me attune to the arcane, or whatever. There's literally, magic is not a very defined thing. You can make anything up.
Maybe Ambrose should wrap his in some kind of cloth or something to hide the stone. It is kind of exposed, and we do have enemies looking for the stones, right? So,
It kind of just looks like a fancy blade, to be honest.
well, if someone knows, like we know, then we have Theo, who knows. So,
We can just kill him.
okay, that's
Theo-
kind of
Theo kind of raises his hand to like speak, and he says, not to, well, sour the mood of this meeting, but if I recall, didn't they have the best scryer in the whole nation?
Mm.
I
Oh,
haven't
that's
been
right.
silent this entire time. I will speak up and say,
Mhm.
I was going to ask about that. Theodoric, how difficult is it for someone to identify one of these stones?
Well, if somebody has read books of old, perhaps they can get an idea of them. But these stones are not common knowledge. Of course, we are not specifically dealing with common people.
And we know that there's ways to get around this. Even Perrin's scrying ability. He couldn't even peer into the deepest regions of Galvathir, nor could he peer into the inner workings of Port's Trail. I must say, I was hoping that during our visits to these places we could find some kind of scribing shroud of sorts.
Hopefully.
Honestly, I think that Master Scryer may already realize that you had the stone.
They were kind
I'm-
of suspicious.
I'm assuming you received the stone back in that temple, right?
Yes, that is correct.
It only makes the most sense. Horse appearing out of nowhere. What you're telling us now, it all fits together. That means you had the stone at the meeting with the three lords. Maybe not Valerian or the other, but Ern, I feel if any of them noticed something was off, he probably did. And who other than he to have read these tomes that tell us of what the shards are and their power?
Well, either way, knowledge is one thing, but catching us will be an entirely different matter.
Taurin will look at Theo. So, what kind of magic do you know that might be of some help to hide the stones?
It's kind of difficult to hide such a powerful item. I'm sorry, but I would have to be at an equal level to those of the Titans to do that. And, well, as much as I would like to boast, I am not.
That's just because you haven't drank enough potions yet.
He smiles
Ambrose,
at
get the
them.
funnel.
He smiles at that and says, "That may be so. So, what's your next plan?"
Hmm. Well, the funeral of the king's brother is today. Perhaps we would do well to pay our respects? Even though we're quite in the precarious position, I do feel the need, for Galarian at least, to play the diplomatic role that we originally came here for.
I would agree. Although, I'm assuming it will be a large procession, so maybe we just stay a little further in the back. I feel like if the king recognizes us off the bat, just in the case that he sees it as an insult. I don't know. I might just be catastrophizing.
While I'm flattered, I must say I am not good with political negotiations.
Yeah, I was there at the High Council.
It's okay. I don't think most of us are.
You
was a fleeting
You
memory.
do remember what happened last time I was at a political setting.
Hmm. So at
Yeah,
this rate, it's
that's-
just going to be Taurin and I.
I think
Although
I'll give it my all.
I will say, Dwarven King has every right to act whatever way he acts right now, and they are definitely more curt about things. Sylvana was just a bitch.
Sylvana, that's her name. I was gonna call her Scarlet Witch. Never mind.
Yes,
Alright.
I'm still concerned over her, honestly. If anyone that is still on our side, she out of all people is going to make it difficult to continue to actually bring people together. Our common enemy is, of course, the Call to Fire, but if there is someone on our side stirring trouble, trying to cause war, it's not going to help us.
she clears her throat and says, "If I was not stuck in this jar, perhaps I could have been of more help."
Or hacks. Hmm.
You're
Theodric-
giving very high expectations of what you can do after we get you out of there.
Theodric speaks up. You know, he kind of chuckles at your exchange. And he says, "Well, I also believe there are some other pressing matters. While I can feel the presence of two stones right in front of me, and we know who has another one, I am afraid I don't know the whereabouts of the remaining stone. Haven't felt it either."
The last
Makes sense.
Titan.
There's one more?
Yeah. How could you forget? Ixis.
Right. One
I
Dragon Alley.
definitely did not forget that one. I feel like that's like a quarter of your personality almost.
I do have to wonder where it would possibly be. I mean, I would only assume that it'd be somewhere surrounded by water, or even in the ocean somewhere.
Honestly, anywhere.
Yes. Her presence is in every lake, every river, every body of water, from the smallest puddle to the vastest ocean.
So,
And everything's connected, so.
that leaves us with what? Either going to every border or like Misspell, Port Strail.
Ooh. Do you think
I think
the
the other one
merfolk
is Eleanor.
would know more?
She laughs and says, I'll make sure to play my part.
All
Bit
good
of her as
ideas.
well. I've always been potentially interested in the Eastern Barrens. And then there's the other little tiny island to the left of one of the three. They're not really that tiny, though, to be honest.
Would have to
Hmm.
cross. Water.
Question for DM: Is
Mhm.
Port Strail the only thing that's like really allowing someone to get from the Westerlands to the Eastern Barrens? Is that like the primary mode of going from one?
You would know that, well, especially your character would know that. No, it's definitely not. But would you rather spend, weeks on a ship to get to
Yeah.
the Eastern Barrens, or perhaps just a couple of days?
gonna go
The answer
Oh.
for,
Fly on something?
for Ambrose is yes.
I would look a little sullen and say, well, if we try to cross over to the Eastern Barrens, only real choice would be Port Strail.
Then it's settled. We'll take care of our business here and then head eastward.
Just
Fair,
hold on a moment. I think I'm gonna have to buy some kicking shoes
Oh,
if we're going to Port Strail specifically.
Well, we should probably try and figure out if there's any other information we can gather about the possible location. I mean, of course, Theodric doesn't know currently, but maybe there's someone who can. I mean, I can only really think of Perrin having the ability to scry its location, but apparently he can't. Otherwise, he
Say-
probably would have already found it.
just maybe we can talk with the merfolk we helped a while back. Just food for thought. They live in the water. I don't know. That might be a
Yes,
good
and last
start.
time I checked, Kipper was very good friends
Yes.
with the dear princess.
Do me
I
a favor.
mean, I don't know if I would say that in particular, but
And as a
maybe
friend.
she thought I was eye candy or something.
That's certainly a way to say that.
Listen,
If-
this is my
if I was
first time.
candy, I'd be rock candy. Sorry.
That was
I don't want to
awful.
hear this coming from Mr. 6 foot tall virgin.
Damn.
Kipper does like this snap with his hands.
So, do you all have anything black to wear?
I can go as a crow.
I don't really own anything besides traveler's clothes. Never really been in a situation to need anything else.
Kipper,
What?
do you own any like dark clothing?
Let me check my bag. I don't think I had dark clothing.
In fact, besides Ambrose's sword, before it got transformed, Ambrose's sword is like the only thing he actually like keeps good care of.
It's like studded
And-
leather.
And now it's very, very, very nice looking.
And like, so really, like the nicest like article of clothing he's been wearing has been the armor he received from the Elven Armory. Otherwise, he's basically just wearing some old, like, worn clothes.
Or we should have like winter clothes. So I mean,
I never really had an emo phase, so I never had dark clothes.
Rexmoa lets out another deep sigh. Well, we're already gonna be standing out quite a bit from the crowd. We don't want to come off as disrespectful. We'll figure it out.
Is there like
Buy
a...
some cloaks.
Yeah, we can probably buy something. A trade. I have teeth.
See? Perfect.
Hello, could I grab a cloak? I have a bag of teeth and 3 vials of acid, and I splash it on his face, and then we run.
Theodric is watching this whole exchange, and you can see he's like a little bit surprised about what he's hearing. And in the end, he just kind of sighs and says, well, I think I will leave you guys to that. I will see if I can somehow locate the missing stone.
Theo,
Probably for
I
the
want
best.
you to realize I am kidding.
Sure
I
you
wasn't... No, I was actually... That's not something I would do. Unprovoked. I don't start fights, I finish them.
are.
Don't believe him.
Kipper does another snap.
Theodric nods and he says, well, then you may stay as much as you like. And, well, I will see you around. Just remember, don't look for me, I will find you. And he
Like always.
backs up into the room that he came out of with Rexmoa.
Wait. Taurin wants to go and look at, open the door and see if like is he still there or is he like gone?
As you open the
Rexmoa
door,
tries. Rexmoa tries to grab Taurin's shoulder and he says, "It's probably gonna be," and then the scene will play out.
yeah, as you open the door, he's gone. And you still see the room, however. As I said, there are crystals growing in the walls. The same
Wait, what?
white crystals with a rainbow kind of opalescent shimmer.
Kipper's gonna... Well, number one, Kipper's gonna go into the room. He's like, well, somehow that's getting less creepy each time it happens. And then he's gonna, like, pull out his little, like, urchin toolkit. And he's gonna start trying to, like, removing some of the, like, the crystals.
Pilfering
Can I-
some crystals.
Can I roll to collect some crystals? Because
You-
Kipper sees an opportunity to sell some to...
I will say you can do that the next time because we are all out of time for this session.
Fuck! I wanted to talk with Rexmoa.
That's fine, that's fine. You'll get some time later. For now, we're gonna say goodbye to the people watching the VODs on YouTube. Goodbye.
Bye, VOD Squad. I love you.
Bye, VOD Squad. I'll see y'all in the YouTube comments.
It was an
Yay.
emotional roller coaster.